Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing a review of Spider-Man Homecoming. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming last night on July 6th at the 7 p.m. screening, and I thought the film was pretty good. So basically in this review I'm going to be having non-spoilers in the front of the video, and then spoilers in the back of the video, so I'll tell you at a certain time in the video when to click off the video if you haven't seen the movie yet, and yeah, but let's start off with non-spoilers. First of all, I wasn't really interested to see this film. I remember the first trailer that came out, I thought it looked terrible, like, just horrible. And then, the second trailer came out, and I actually liked that trailer. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I was one of the people who actually liked that trailer. I know it did spoil a lot, but I still liked it. Yeah. Then we got to the third trailer, which I thought was horrible, like the first trailer. And then the third trailer was kind of like, But then a few days before the movie, I started getting more excited, and, yeah. I also wasn't excited to see Iron Man in this movie. When it was, like, when we heard that Iron Man was gonna be in the movie, and we saw him in, like, the trailers, I'm like, oh, jeez. Iron Man has to be in freaking everything, right? God. I'm getting so sick of Iron Man, honestly. But Iron Man was, like, shown a lot in the, like, TV spots and trailers. Thankfully, he's not in the film, he's not in the film, like, that long at all, and I was really glad of that. So it's not like a team-up movie, thankfully. It's just a little, he just has some cameos here and there. Because I really didn't want to see him throughout the movie a lot, because this should really be a Spider-Man movie. And, also, I had a Spidey shirt, yesterday. I wore that to the theater, but, I don't have it right now, so I just have my Jurassic Park shirt, so, yep. But I wore my Spidey shirt to the theater last night. I had it in my, like, theater, my first reaction, so that's there. So I was wearing it during that. But, yeah. So first of all, let's talk about the plot of this movie. The plot of this movie is actually, it's pretty good, I guess. I mean, a little generic, maybe, but I like the whole idea of this, like, kind of these smuggish peoples kind of, you know, selling these alienized weapons from past Avengers battles and all that. It's a cool idea, I like it. So I thought the plot was actually pretty interesting, I enjoyed it, and yeah. I also enjoyed the high school feel of this film. I'm glad we didn't get, like, Amazing Spider-Man, where it just retreads the origins again. Instead of here, we get to see a different part of the origins, which is exactly what we needed, and we still get to spend time with Spider-Man being a kid, and, yeah. Also, I found the jokes to be pretty funny in this film. It wasn't like Age of Ultron, where it's just all forced and it's not funny. The jokes were actually funny in this film. And I enjoyed it. For a Spider-Man film, this makes sense. You know, sometimes in Marvel films, I get annoyed that they're putting too many jokes in at unnecessary times. But here, they put it at, you know, reasonably, necessary times, and it's a Spider-Man film, so I guess it makes sense to have more jokes. So, yeah, the jokes were actually funny. There's this one joke that I'll talk about in spoilers that was really, really funny, and I laughed so much at it. So yeah. Also, the action in this movie was good. There's some cool fights, but it's just, like, okay, it's good, but you just compare it to Raimi, who had you on the edge of your seat the entire time. It's nowhere near as good as Raimi's action, no. But, I mean, it does have some pretty decent action, I guess, but nowhere near as good as Raimi's action, because Raimi's action was actually, it was brutal, it was intense, you were on the edge of your seat. Here, it's just kind of like, oh, here's some cool visuals, cool action, cool. It's not like, oh my god, like the train fight in Spider-Man 2, it's not like, oh my god, this is so amazing. But, yeah. So, about the characters of this movie, Peter was, Tom Holland played Peter wonderfully. Peter was, really good in this film, Peter Parker. And Spider-Man, I also liked Spider-Man. No, not as good as Raimi's, like, Peter, and not even really Spider-Man, I'd say. I don't know. It's just, like, Tobey Maguire just plays such a good, he just plays such a good role with Peter and Spider-Man. I just don't think Tom Holland he doesn't beat, Tobey Maguire, especially not Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire owns Peter Parker. He is close to the Spider-Man thing, but overall, I just like Tobey Maguire more. Yeah. Ned in this film is, he's pretty funny. I like Ned. There was this one joke at the end where I was like, oh my god. I'll talk about that in spoilers, as I said. And yeah, he was a pretty funny character. I liked him. He worked. He was funny. Flash Thompson, terrible. Oh my god. What were they thinking when they chose Flash Thompson? This guy's like smaller than Peter. Like, Flash Thompson's supposed to be this big guy that could, pick on Peter. Except Flash Thompson's almost like kind of his friend. He's just annoyed by him. It's like, what? Um, Michelle played a pretty decent character. However, there was this one really stupid reveal later on. I was just like, really? Just a really stupid reveal with her character. But I mean, her character was it was pretty funny. Liz, who is Peter's love interest, kind of, his crush that he has. I thought she did pretty good, I guess. I thought she did well in the role. And as far as Iron Man, he doesn't show up in the movie as much, which I was glad of. And I mean, of course, when he's there, it's just kind of annoying. It's like, oh, here's Iron Man again. But he wasn't in the movie as much as I thought he was. So I was like, yay. Vulture in this film is amazing. Oh my god. Vulture is definitely one of the best Spider-Man villains, one of the best MCU villains, because MCU villains are usually just terrible. But Vulture just knocks it out of the park. I understood him as a villain. I cared for what he was doing. He had a reasoning. He wasn't just like, oh, I want to destroy the world. Vulture, he was a good villain. He was just such a good villain. Michael Keaton just nails it. Michael Keaton's great. And, yeah, Vulture was great in this film. I liked Vulture. And there's a reveal with him that I'll talk about later. As far as the flaws of this movie, it still kind of has this MCU-ish feeling, like, pasted over the top. Since it's a Spider-Man film, I just kind of wanted just this Spider-Man feeling of it. And you have that, but it just has such a layer of MCU on it. There's just too many Easter eggs with the MCU. You can just see it in this film. It's just filled with, like, way too many Easter eggs. Some of them just got really annoying for me. And, I mean, it had some of a dark tone, but I kind of wanted maybe a bit more from it. Just a bit more. But, I mean, it's not really a complaint. I mean, I guess it's the first film of this, new Tom Holland thing. And, yeah. Also, I was kind of spoiled in the beginning, to be honest with you. Like, I was spoiled. Like, I noticed, like, in the beginning of this film, I was like, wow, I feel like I already saw this in the trailers, and I was like, whenever a scene happened, I'm like, yeah, I already know what happens. And it was a little bit uninteresting in the beginning. It took a little bit for me to, like, get, like, on board, but I was still pretty on board, through the movie. And the CGI in this film there's some moments. I mean, just compare it to, like, Raimi's trilogy. That has way better CGI than this, I'd say. And this is 2017. So it just kind of had some CGI. So yeah. So now we're going to talk about spoilers. That's the non-spoiler section. Now we're going to talk about actual spoilers. And yeah. So here we go. Spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie, go off this video right now. Spoilers. Holy crap, the Vulture being Liz's father reveal was amazing. I just love that. That was like my favorite scene in the movie. When Peter's in the car and he's just sweating, there's just so much tension there. You're like, holy crap. Like Peter, he's sweating, and honestly, my hands were like sweating, my face was sweating when I saw that scene. It got me on board. It got me into the movie because I was like, holy crap. I love that reveal. No one expected it, and when it opened, I was like, oh my god. I was like, Jesus. I loved that reveal, and it just added a lot to Liz's and Vulture's character as well as Peter's. Knowing that his crush's father is this guy he's kind of enemies with, I love that. The porn joke was hilarious. And the Vulture versus Spider-Man fight is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. There was pretty good amount of tension. Obviously not as much as Raimi, but I mean, it still had a decent amount of tension. But yeah, I mean, the Vulture versus Spider-Man fight, it was pretty good. I guess. I enjoyed it. And, of course, Vulture gets arrested. At the ending there, and Peter tries to save him, and then Vulture, the whole thing explodes, and then, Vulture gets arrested in the end, so he doesn't die. Okay. And then we get an Iron Spider tease, which I really enjoyed. I looked at the suit, and I was like, wow, that looks awesome. I really like the Iron Spider tease, and, yeah. And the whole ending with the Avengers thing, I guess I enjoyed. It worked for the ending. Um, yeah, so I guess Peter's an Avenger now. And oh my God, the Aunt May ending, holy crap! At the Aunt May ending, I was like, wow. The Aunt May ending was crazy. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna finally see a Spider-Man where his aunt knows who he is, and I was like, holy crap! I was just like, I want more. I want more. I want to know more about this. What happened after this? What is she gonna react to? I just wanted more, and it kind of left me on a note where I just wanted more though. So it's kind of like, a little bit of not really a flaw, but it's just like, I just wanted more. Because like she knows that Peter's Spider-Man now. Like this is the first time I've ever seen this. I want more. So I guess it does make sense though. I mean, it's kind of hard to have Spider-Man in the Avengers without his aunt knowing who he is. Yeah. Then as far as the after credit scene, so of course we got the Vulture in prison one. And that one was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Then the second after credit scene was the one with Captain America, which was pretty funny. And yeah, so that's Spider-Man Homecoming. Um, that's pretty much all I gotta say. It was a good film, but I mean, it didn't have anything like super duper special like the Raimi ones, but I still enjoyed the film for what it was. It was a good film. I enjoyed the high school feeling of it. That was kind of like the thing I enjoyed about the movie, the high school feeling. It was something a little bit new, but I mean, of course, they had the MCU kind of feeling like just layered right over top of it. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the film Spider-Man Homecoming. Phase 3 has been amazing so far. Phase 3, there's not been one bad movie in Phase 3. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed this review, and see you next time.